Hi, Maria-Ines here. How are you? This week, I want to move away a little bit from the overarching aspects that we have been looking at in the other videos of your brand and look at more specifically about branding aspects of your brand. I want to talk about the distinctions that one should be aware of when we're looking for photography or photographers for our brand. Now, in terms of photographers, I want you to know that there's a very specific difference between brand photography and portrait photography. And even more so when you're looking for a brand photographer and a portrait photographer. Now, this is not to say that a portrait photographer wouldn't be able to take your images. But it's something that if you're aware of it, then you're more educated when you're looking for the specific photographer that you're looking for, right? Now, the reason why this is so important is not only that a brand photographer would have experience with taking images for a brand per se, specifically, but also because there are so many variables when you have to think about your brand photography that a portrait photographer may not necessarily know, be aware, or maybe they do it instinctively but not intentional. And you know that my word is always be intentional about everything you do in your brand, especially your photography. Because at the end of the day, while I always say your brand strategy is, the cornerstone of your brand, the reality is that when somebody comes across your website, your business card, etc., they are looking at how it looks like, right? And so this is why it's so important to understand what are you asking of a photographer to be able to direct them, right, into what it is that you want. So, for example, one of the very, very easy examples that I always use with my clients to help them understand this is that, a portrait photographer by default takes portrait images, right? Now, this is not to say that they don't take landscape, but I'm saying is they are looking at you and at your environment in a very different way than what I would or a brand photographer would. For example, if we're thinking about your website, right? We want images for your website and you go to a portrait photographer and you don't understand that you need to tell them, okay, I need landscapes because, this picture will go here and that picture will go there. Then what you're going to end up is, for example, with a portrait photo, right? So imagine me within a portrait. And then I want to use that image in my website as a hero, what it's called hero. So full width image in my website. And then you would have to hire somebody who knows really well Photoshop to be able to cut you out of the background because I am missing, the other part of the image in order to be able to make it useful for your website. Whereas if you understand and you know that you have to tell your photographer, listen, I need a couple of images like this and like that, especially, wide images for this goes on my hero page, on my homepage, and he or she will know to take a landscape photo of you so that you can actually use it as a background, be it because you need more space on one side, even if you want to be in the middle, that's fine, but you have surroundings around you, right? So that's a very specific example, but it's a very good example to explain what would be the difference between what a brand photographer does and what a portrait photographer does. Again, I want to emphasize that it's not that I'm saying that you shouldn't go to a portrait photographer, but this is more helping you to understand what it is as a business owner that you need to ask of those photographers in order to obtain what it is that you want for your brand. Please let me know if this was helpful. Drop me comments, ask me questions. I love to hear back from you and what it is, what's working. I love to know what other things I can talk about. And please don't forget to follow because that way you will know when I post new videos and you can stay up to date with what's happening in my business. All right. See you later. Bye.